Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones, aka Daniel Coon, back in a new video. I know I'm late to the party, but I figure better late than never. It's on Barcelona, on Charlottesville, and on Confederate monuments. Now, last time I did a video like this, about a year ago, was my race war video. I think this might be. I think a year just finally passed. I mean, I heard some people complain that they had a shotgun in the video. Well, now I figure I step up my game and my Beowulf in the video. I figured this would be like a firearm side chat. But I've been busy with some things. I know I have a couple things I need to do videos on, but I'm gonna have them ready for you guys in no time soon. And a lot of things have been going on in the news. There's been first of all, talk about Charlottesville. Okay, so one thing that I want to mention that I think it went over a lot of people's heads is that there are people there carrying guns, much like this one. I don't know if they were a 50 Beowulf, but they were out there carrying AR style rifles during the protests, but no one was shot. So let's keep that in mind. And this is not the first time people have been carrying AR style rifle or any this defensive rifles in protests like this. It happened a lot in Texas during their open carry protest, and it happened during like 2012, 2014. You had people carrying open carrying handguns and open carrying. I remember there was a gentleman. I remember he had a white shirt on, he had glasses, and he had an AR-15. He had an extra mag in his back pocket, and it was he was very clean looking. He was carrying a rifle, and he said he needed. And when people asked, he said he was doing it because it was his right to do so. So when people carry guns to protest, you can't automatically, history has shown that it's not the case that people are going to get shot up. Instead, what we had happened at in Charlottesville, you had someone, a very disturbed young man, who I later learned he had some issue. He had some, I think, he was schizophrenic. Single parent household. His mother was she was in a wheelchair. He had a lot of issues before he went ahead and did this thing, did what he did with the car. Drove through a crowd, killed three people. Um, and now let's talk about the two sides that were protesting. You had, or at least the ones that were most prominent. You had white supremacists on one side, and then you had Antifa on the other side. But essentially, you had far right and the term far right is kind of a little cartoonish to me, but far right and far left. For the point, to get the point across in this video. Basically, two groups that no one likes protesting. But it seemed, and you had this event happen. And you had a deranged individual harm people with the vehicle, much like we've seen in many other times in Europe. Yet, I came across a New York Times article saying it's time for the banning of open carry firearms, and not once. If I remember correctly, they didn't reference the people that were hit by the car, but they kept referencing that they had two groups that may have been armed, or at least I think those on the far right were armed. The white supremacists, they were armed, but ignoring the fact that no one was shot. So I just understand why is it more preferable for someone to get hit by a car and get killed rather than someone bring openly carry firearms to a protest and no one be hurt as a result of it. And then you have this thing in Barcelona where you have someone drive a van onto a crowded walkway, kills. I think it was 13. Please correct me in the comment section. I think it was 13 people were killed, but scores were hit. And it's tragic, but it just come out the same thing. You have these Islamic extremists, carrying out these acts, and there's no real talk about what is the true cause of all this. And I think until the real questions are being asked, and really these situations being looked into for what they are, these kind of things are just going to keep happening. The thing that happened in Charlottesville, that was a case of a deranged individual with a car. In the case of Barcelona, it seemed like it was someone who was carrying out a belief that they have, and it seemed like they really they didn't meet any real opposition, in order to hit that many people. So we're in for some interesting times. Now, and I've said it before, these are very interesting times. Um, and I really feel bad for the people who are going to be caught in the middle of it, who are oblivious to what the things that are going on, or what's the real cause of all these things going on. First of all, I don't think any reason is needed to disavow white supremacists. They disavow themselves. Really, I mean, does the president really have to come on TV and say that he disavows white supremacists for us to believe that he's against white supremacy? I mean, Donald Trump has his issues, but I don't think that he's one for. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think he's one to support people like that. They seem to be living in their own little world. They haven't accepted reality, but I think it was good that he accepted. He said that he disavowed extremism on both sides, because what's being ignored is the fact that Antifa is practically a terrorist organization. No one really wants. No one in the news wants to talk about the crap that they pull, about the mess that they start, about things that have gone on I think it was at Berkeley. The riot that got started there. I did a video on that before. But once you have something but the only reason why they can get mentioned is because you have a side that really doesn't need. No one has to really disavow in the open. That they pretty much paint themselves as being morons when they fight back, which is good to see someone fighting back against people on the left that are just out of their mind, using violence to meet their means or meet their ends. When you have that one side fighting back, now they get mentioned, but it's only mentioned as a footnote when more attention is being put on the side of white supremacists. Again, like I said, who needs to go on TV and disavow a group like that? And another thing, who is afraid of the Klan? Who in 2017 is really afraid of people like that? I don't understand. Me personally, I don't see them as a threat. If it came down to them wanting to do the things they want to do, fine. Good luck in accomplishing it. They'll greatly meet opposition from many different sides, from many different groups. Especially the so-called whites that they claim to want to uplift. They're in there, like I said, they're in La La Land, and they need to face that reality very quickly before they make things much far worse for themselves than they already are. But it's good to see that Antifa is being fought against, albeit it's against another wacky group. It's good to see these two kind of go at it. Those are the people who are I think who were hit by that challenger. I don't know if I can say it. I'm not sure if I can say I don't agree with it, but then again, they're a group that wants to use violence to shut up other people, who wants to do all these things to keep other opinions from being talked about, from being shared. So I don't know. You live by force, you're gonna meet your end by force. Now on Confederate monuments, I think it's a great tragedy to see these monuments being taken down. The reason why I say that is because they are a part of American history. They want to talk about the same situation with the Confederate flag. Everyone talks about all the bad things that were done in the name of that flag under that banner, but no one wants to talk about the kind of things that were done under the American flag. And I'm someone who I love Old Glory. I love the American flag, but I'm not going to sit here and claim that no wrongful things were done under that banner. Many things were done under that banner. In fact, it was pointed out that the Klan started their rallies under the American flag. They did under the American flag and under the stars and bars. So let's not get it twisted. Many things have been done under various banners. But why we assign, why we attribute something negative to one and something positive to the other, I think it's just it could be just be a whitewashing of history, or just just ignoring history. I accept the stuff that went on under the American flag, and so I'm going to accept the stuff that went on under the stars and bars, under the Confederate flag, because looking back in history, both sides had their issues during the Civil War. Both sides had their dirt, especially the North. They weren't, this whole thing about they being completely against slavery is a bunch of hogwash. Tell it to the border states. Crack open a history book before you start only attributing negative things to one side and only positive things to another side. But tearing down these monuments is like trying to erase a part of history that might be repeated, where you just have extremism on one side wanting to silence the other side, and then you can have blowback from that. And tearing down these monuments doesn't solve anyone's problems. Just like when taking down the flag from the front of the State House in South Carolina, the state I reside in, doesn't solve any social issues. What did it do? Make people feel good for a little bit, and then whatever problems they were actually going through persisted. So tearing down these monuments doesn't do any good, because what's next? Someone pointed out, they were going to take a cannonball to Mount Rushmore because you had slave owners on Mount Rushmore. Are we going to stop using $20 bills? Are we going to start tearing down Jefferson memorials? Are we going to tear down the monument to George Washington? Are we going to do all these things? When is it going to stop? They had the issues of their past, and we should keep. And I think it's important to keep those around so that, as a reminder that we could fall into that same trap. The same things that were done in the past could be done today, and getting rid of these monuments does not change that fact. In fact, I would say getting rid of these, trying to tear these monuments down, only regurgitates the same issues that went on in the past today. Trying to erase history to make one side look good, when really it's a side that just wants to be challenged by an opposing viewpoint. So that's why I wore this hat for this video, because I'm pretty sure someone's gonna be calling me some type of name because I stand against Confederate monuments being taken down. It's a shame. I think Robert E. Lee monument was torn down and destroyed. I believe it was in North Carolina. I think it was in North Carolina. That's a shame. Are any monuments against Grant going to be torn down? Is anyone going to look into like I said, crack open a history book showing all sides, and you see that the side that you have been rooting for has actually had its own problems that now you must contend with. Are you going to ignore their past, or come to accept the fact that everyone has dirt? The best thing you can do is learn from it and move forward, so you don't repeat the same stuff in the future. For one, I'm not going to look past. I'm not going to ignore what happened in the past. But one thing, I'm not going to let it stop me from making a better future, which is why I do videos like this. So please share your thoughts. What do you think of monuments being torn down? What do you think of the events that happened in Charlottesville and Barcelona? What do you think of the survivalist rifle? Looks pretty sweet, huh? I'll have a video up sometime of me shooting this. It performed pretty well, and I hope to use it in some more videos as soon as I get some more time to go out shooting. But please share your thoughts in the comment section, or make a video response. If you want to leave a donation to my channel, just go to my homepage, look for the "Give Up That Cheese" button. That leads you to a link that you can make a donation to my PayPal account. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I'll do what I can to address them. You know the routine. Any new viewers to my channel, I encourage you to check out my older videos. I still get comments to this day from many videos I've done years ago. I want to say thank you to those who have stuck with me this long, and I hope you guys look forward to new videos down the road. I hope my video quality improves. Hopefully I'll have more nice guns, same old cool hats, or some new hats down the road to show you guys for future videos. But that's my video. I'm Edward Jones, aka Daniel Kuhn, on Charlottesville, Barcelona, and Confederate monuments. And you guys take care. Stay safe out there.